And this is your Chapo. Felix and I are back at it today. And let's just dive in. We got some election results to talk about. Unfortunately, our intervention in the race did not come soon enough. And I got to say, I was surprised by this. Francesca Hong went from having a 20-point lead in this Democratic primary to narrowly losing to Crowley.
A guy who dropped out and only re-entered the race because he saw a red bird.
Okay, yeah, well, that's exactly where I want to begin. Because, look, I know the last time we talked about this race, I suppose we did kind of make fun of Francesca Hong for her anti-holiday agenda.
Yeah, but, okay. Not that anyone's blaming us, but I do have to say, well, look, the polls in the Great Lakes they have been terrible. I have seen multiple explanations. Some people say that they are oversampling Democrats and these are open primaries. Whatever. But if she lost that race because we were like, oh, she shouldn't have talked about what do people in Wisconsin have for Thanksgiving?
Good, like
buttered loaf.
Pretty much the same thing everyone else does.
The stuff they eat in the Grinch.
It's the goy. It's the goy slop.
Yeah, roast beef.
Roast beef.
Yeah, wetted green.
Wetted green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just, I wanted her to win because I wanted a Frost Nixon type thing, where it was like, okay, so you Thanksgiving was the first meal you ever cooked. I just can't let go of that. I just can't, what?
If the Grinch steals it, it's not a crime.
Yeah. I just can't let go of that. But yeah, so she lost to a guy who dropped out. The only thing I know about David Crowley is he had one of those Twitter accounts that you would only see in 2013. 2014,
mm-hmm.
And honestly, that it is the most amenable I've felt to David Crowley since I've seen these posts because they're pretty good posts.
If we made fun of Francesca Hong for her loopy tweets, which may or may not have cost her the primary, I don't think it helped, but it probably wasn't the only reason. What do you think accounts for this? Because is it the lack of an endorsement from Bernie and AOC? Is it she had a good ground game, but she didn't have any TV ads? Buying
TV ads it does work. Unfortunately,
I don't think that's she probably just didn't have enough money. And to give her credit here, losing by 4 points after being outspent 8-1 and not having TV ads, I think is still that. It's not like this was a total disaster.
She did better than Abdul did against Gretchen Whitmer. And I know, the near tangents of the world are this is a world historic victory.
Yeah.
Abdul winning by 2 points. That means he sucks and we need to kill him. He owes us jizya that our ancestors paid.
The centrist jizya tax. Yeah.
But David Crowley, who's a warg of some type.
Yeah, no, I want to talk about
warg. Yeah. I'm not saying it's an R is in there. Warg communicates with birds. He wins by 7 votes, and they're like, "This DSA shed, it's over."
Yeah.
I don't. If the Michigan result is Abdul sucks, what is your takeaway from this? No one cares about hypocrisy, obviously, but it just, I don't know. The only thing I know about Tom Tiffany is that he's crazy, and doesn't Tom Tiffany? That sounds like the name of a character from the first 4 seasons of Family Guy. Chris would have been bullied at school by Tom Tiffany.
You may be surprised to learn this. I met Tom Tiffany.
Really?
Yeah. I shook his hand when I was at the Three Lakes, Wisconsin 4th of July parade. And let me tell you, credit to Three Lakes, Wisconsin. They do a hell of a 4th of July parade. He was there meeting his constituents, pressing the flesh. I was, on the sidelines of the watching the parade. He shook my hand, gave me some campaign literature, and I was like, "Thank you, sir." I can't say he made any impression on me at all, but yeah, his name is Goofy.
Well, yeah, you remember this. Well, you were the designated driver for that event. You only had a .7 BAC. That's
Yeah.
legal to drive in Wisconsin. All I know is that he's like a little, Did he come off like when you met him? Was he? I've talked to a lot of MAGA guys. I know we've talked about this on the show, like the infamous time we were in DC for inauguration, and Matt was just he had put himself into an angry drunk phase, and he was just walking around DC.
But like, did stone sober though?
Yeah, he was drunk. Well, I mean, by our standards, Wisconsin standards, he was qualified to fly a commercial airplane. His blood alcohol was only a 0.3, but he was just so mad seeing like the MAGA guys in cowboy hats that every time we'd see them, didn't matter if we were like on an escalator, if we were staying at the same hotel as them, and we would repeatedly see them, he would go, "Fucking idiot!"
I remember being at the Smithsonian Museum of Air and Space and like going up an escalator while this like family of MAGA chuckleheads was coming down the other side. We were just passing on the escalator, and he's like, "Fuck!"
Yeah. So like Matt almost caused an altercation at the hotel we were staying at. There was like a little guy and then a bigger MAGA guy. And Matt was just doing his like, "fuck you, fucking idiot" thing. And I had to prevent a fisticuffs from breaking out. And they both, the smaller drunken man, clearly not a Wisconsinite, he was like fall down drunk. If he had one, like, if you took a thimble of blood from Matt and made that guy drink it, he would have died. But I talked to that guy's liege lord, who was a bigger man in a cowboy hat, and he was from Arkansas. I've talked about this conversation before, where he was like, "I'm so excited to be here. I'm from Arkansas. I know the Clintons. I love the Clintons. They did great things for me. But this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to elect a businessman."
By the way, he said when he was talking about all the good things the Clintons did for me, he meant all the cocaine trafficking from the airport.
Yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. I liked him. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I think it's the fact that most Trump voters are people who immigrated here 3 hours ago. They probably think I'm one of them.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, this is a Baltic Latino like me who's a Trump voter." But I feel like I have a pretty good sense when I'm talking to like, a dullard like that who's like, "Oh, Trump's a businessman," and like a real like, fucking Looney Tune who's like, we gotta fucking take back the governor's mansion so we can free Ryan O'Neal from the tomb of the mummy." Whatever. And what vibe did you get from Tom Tiffany?
Just
in that
like
sense?
bog standard Republican politician, like
interesting.
Like really, I couldn't discern much personality outside of just like a just very bland Midwest Republican, guy you'd expect to be a Republican governor of a state like Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But anyway, really, I did want to talk about David Crowley and the bird sign.
It was a red bird.
It was a red bird, and now this is he's saying like when he dropped out of the race, he was like we can edit in the clip of him talking about this, but he says, "I pray. Me and my wife pray all the time."
Yeah, great.
And my wife, we were just like, give me a sign, and I love that he said, my wife when talking to God was like, "Now don't make it too vague. I want something very specific. So I want a red bird. I want no mistaking a message from God here."
Can we cut it with this shit? It's like, well, because like you're running to be governor of the state, and you're saying you can make like, when you order on Uber Eats, and you're like, "Oh, can I have more butter?" That you can do that with God. You're already making campaign promises.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, can we have a balanced budget, but there are no taxes?"
But like, if Francesca Hong's posts about Arbor Day and
hates that one,
and saying indigenous folks, FOLX, like if that is goofy and you can get done for that, then I gotta say, praying with your wife to see a bird sign and then your wife seeing a cardinal and being like, "That's it, getting back in the race." And also, I'm gonna sort of channel David Crowley's 2013 era tweets here.
Okay.
I'm just going to channel them and say, if you're a man who's praying That shit's gay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Tom Tiffany. Tom Tiffany were your black kettles or kettle blacks.
Kettle
Sorry,
blacks.
they're kettle blacks. Sorry. You need to get out there and be like, we found these tweets. David Crowley met 4 male friends for brunch in 2014. You know what that means.
I saw David Crowley order lemonade for lunch one time.
Yeah, I saw David Crowley. David Crowley's ass is ordering Godiva chocolates online. David Crowley has the Godiva app on his phone. Maybe Jasmine Crockett needs to become a sellsword.
Yeah, but
Jasmine Crockett, by the way, high-profile Game of Thrones fan. Did you see? Well, I don't know what she thinks it is, but she had a great post the other day about the Jared Moskowitz primary.
Uh-huh.
And she said, all right, y'all, she put in brackets like she's home halfway. Game of Thrones voice. The primaries are coming. I love her, man. I love her.
She rocks.
Dude, I would give anything. If she had like one good belief, I would be like, can we draft her for president? She's awesome.
Well, I love that. I love like unlike the sort of the missive that's gone out to all Democrats is like win, lose, draw. We got to unite behind the candidate who won. Beef aside, we got to beat the Republicans.
Yeah.
I like that to this day. She is just shitting all over James Tallarico and like doing everything possible
God.
and he has a lead in Texas right now.
Yeah, he's a pretty good shot of winning.
He has a pretty good job, and she is doing everything possible to fuck his campaign over.
That was not a very vitriolic campaign. I mean, all of the vitriol was from her. Like I don't know. I didn't follow that race super closely. I'm assuming the stuff she said about Tallarico, like, he wore a suit jacket with patches on the elbows. You know what that means? He's getting on his hands and knees to suck a penis because he's gay. But no, yeah, she was like, I can't forgive Tallarico for the things I've said about him. She's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's going to make a difference here or there. I thought she was going to win that. I really did. I didn't support either of these guys. I didn't support her nor Graham Plattner, but just as like a someone who watches the wheel of history, I thought that was going to be the new stupid Byzantine Empire that they were going to wed. Fucking Graham Plattner
and
Crockett, yeah, and man, there's always next cycle, but yeah, no, that is the one. All these other races, fucking. I was laughing the other day. During when it was coming down to the wire in Michigan, I saw Haley Stevens talk to her supporters, and she said, "I'm feeling pretty good about this race." And I was laughing, thinking that that's her being conciliatory towards AES. She's talking about Arabs. I know I've said some pretty bad things about them, but I feel pretty good about their race.
It's a tight ass race.
R.I.P. Baucus. But like Haley Stevens was like, he's a fucking terrorist. He locked me in a shit. He's Joseph Fritzl. No one ever sees his daughter or wife because he puts them in a barn. She was saying crazy shit, or her surrogates were more. And she's out there. You could say she's trying to help him.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? She's trying. She's going up to random Michiganders and going, "Hey, how are you doing?" I don't know if it helps or hurts. But my point is, all these other races, it really... It's like that picture of Chud Jack and the Wojak.
Soy
hugging.
Jack?
Yeah, they're like hugging. But Jasmine Crockett is unbowed, unbroken, unemployed.
But the David Crowley tweets,
they're really good.
I gotta say, I don't like David Crowley.
Not a fan, no.
Because first of all, the bird story.
Oh my God.
That is taken directly from the Steven Spielberg movie Disclosure Day, which just came out this summer. There is literally a scene in that movie where a cardinal appears to Emily Blunt and Wyatt Russell, and the cardinal triggers her alien-induced psychic powers. And, the red bird, and first of all, saying a red bird, it's called a cardinal, okay? Like, there are not that many red birds in North America.
Yeah.
Get your bird, get the Merlin app on your phone, David Crowley.
I just hate this shit where it's like, oh, I asked God.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Like, God is giving you a sign to get back in this stupid fucking primary for governor of Wisconsin.
I'm sorry, you cannot be like an incrementalist Democrat and be like, oh, like I'm a prophet. That's basically what you're saying. I'm a prophet, and God spoke to me, and I came down from the mountain, and this is like, I aged 40 years talking to God. Like it was so intense. My terrestrial body's not ready for this. Here's what God told me, everyone. We are going to create low interest loans for people who are at least blood relatives of Rhodes Scholars who open a restaurant in a disadvantaged neighborhood within the last 5 years. Like that's your.
I could imagine that John Brown was receiving messages from God.
Yeah,
when he was like, every Southerner needs to be smote with cannon fire and grape shot. But like this shit. Like, but to win this race, to win the governor's mansion in Wisconsin, David Crowley needs to tap in to 2013 David Crowley and get rid of this gay shit about praying with your wife and talking to birds. No. Okay?
David, it's time to drink some Incredible Hulk and drive from, let's say Madison to Eagle River in 1 hour. Be the truth. Be the Wisconsinite you are.
It says here, this is from Yahoo. It says, some of the posts are mundane. Quote, I'm in Racine again today, in the office all day until 6 p.m. What to do? Somebody keep me company, LOL.
Oh, there's a work wife at play here. This is Drewski work wife.
But others are profane. Quote, that's just nasty. I wouldn't expletive her with your dick. Hashtag slap yourself. This post, another post from May 10th.
Well, who is he talking about?
I have no idea.
Could have been someone bad.
Another post reads, I love kicking it with drunk women.
Well, that's
Wisconsin. That's just saying I love being with women in Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, it's not, and it's like they're not.
I don't read anything nefarious into that.
No, no. If it was a Utah guy who said that, arrest him. But a Wisconsinite saying that, it's like, oh yeah, well you're even drunker,
My favorite though, 2010 post reads, only. Like you have hashtag gay thoughts, LOL, fucking tambourine player, LOL.
Tambourine player?
Tambourine misspelled too.
Oh, man. I guess that is a pretty sweet instrument to play.
So like essentially the race came down to someone who was tweeting about how Halloween should be banned.
Versus a guy who thinks tambourines are gay.
Yeah. But you know what though? Like in spirit of comedy, like I said, this is my advice to David Crowley. Like tap into 2010 David Crowley.
Yeah. Look, we say this like with all respect for Jesus and Mara. Like that show before they got like white writers and they're on TV who like made them. The stuff they were doing on that show, that they made them do on that show, where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have you guys drink a 40 with Pete Buttigieg." I was like, "What the hell is this?" Before, when they did the Complex show and the one after that, and they had all these classic bits, like I'm really showing my age here, but who remembers the time traveling Ray J bit? One of the funniest things I've ever heard in my fucking life, and that is the dilemma David Crowley faces. Is David Crowley, is he going to, go with the stuff that got him to the dance?
Yeah.
These hilarious insights? Or is he going to hire a bunch of the white people who wrote on the Jesus and Mero Showtime show? I hope
we shall see. We shall see.
Not. His instincts are good. His instinct, like when he just, fuck the red bird. Fuck praying. Just talk about what instruments what do you think are gay?
Talk about things that are and aren't gay.
Yeah. What do you think about that wooden fish, David Crowley? Is that like a cool thing for a man to play? I want to know. I want to know. I just,
and also the musical instrument, the Jews harp, that's not anti-Semitic. You can say that.
Well, so why is it called? I've always wondered that. Why is it called that?
I don't know.
Inquiring minds. Someone email us. If you play that instrument, let us know. But yeah, I was not paying attention to this first. People got mad at us,
For
People,
what?
They were like, they acted like it was a sealed deal for Francesca Hong.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
what
I was
is
only
this, the governor's election show? Shut up.
To be fair, I mean, everyone else did as well.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
she was up to like 8-1.
Yeah, like I was just, the polls were cooked. What can I say? I'm a poll believer. What else do you have for me to go on?
But, in retrospect, to make it sound like I predicted this, I saw signs of trouble when I found out she owned the restaurant where she complained about working at. All those posts where she's like, oh my God, I hate Speak Like a Pirate Day. It's the worst day to work at a restaurant. And it's like, you own the restaurant. You can just close on that day. You can close on May the 4th be with you.
You can never close a restaurant. It's tight margins in that business.
I mean, her holiday thing, I will admit, I think it's probably much harder to be like a cook who runs the restaurant than to be a bouncer like I was. But the stuff I would see on Christmas Eve working in a bar, do you know who went to, I can say the name of the bar now. It's been closed down because I no longer work there. I was sort of the main attraction. But it's called Billy's on Grand Avenue. It was right near Summit where F. Scott Fitzgerald lived with his wife.
Another famous alcoholic.
Yeah. The types of people that would come in Christmas Eve, they were people whose families were like, can you just come back when the presents are being opened tomorrow morning? Like, fuck off. Like, so just the dregs of society. I was supposed to be experiencing Yuletide cheer, and I would see these horrific drunkards, like people from Tom Nuttall Saloon, trying to pull each other's pants down and like vomiting down each other's shirts.
Oh.
And that never... I was still happy to make it home for Christmas. It didn't diminish my love for Christmas. Francesca Hong, I don't know what type of food she's cooked. Do we know what type of restaurant she
I do not know.
I'm going to say fusion restaurant. I know a fusion restaurateur when I see one. But she presumably was not having to deal with those people. But she was like, the joke about that show, The Bear. People are coming to my restaurant and ordering food. Blah,
That was the one joke on that show.
Yeah, it augured poorly for her gubernatorialship. I was thinking about her tax plan, the thing where she's wants to get rid of like property tax for anyone making under $750 million a year. This is a huge tenet of slopulism. This thing where like, oh, no normal person should have to pay taxes. And I think the provenance of this is, those shitty, like, viral slopulous posts you see where people are like, oh, Jeff Bezos, like, made $200 billion last year.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, the equity of his company increased $200 billion. But Francesca Hong and people like that probably see that, and they're like, oh, there's got to be, like, 1,000 people in America who make $100 billion, like, in salary a year. And probably, like, 5 of them live in Wisconsin. And if we just tax those 5 guys at 50%, no more taxes for anyone. But it just, that was, she was going to try to do that. It was going to be like Nevada, like when Nevada ran out of money, trying the same thing with no property tax.
Is it like Texas and Florida, like the states with no income tax now trying to do no property tax as well?
Yeah, good luck, guys. good luck. You guys can become part of fucking Argentina for all I care. We can easily replace Texas.
Texas is going to replace the income in their budget that previously filled in by their very high property taxes and lack of a state income tax by, I don't know, like mining for uranium in all of the state national parks.
Yeah, I just, look, Alberta needs 5 years of central planning, which is not that much, and we can replace Texas.
Yeah.
Alberta makes 4 times as much fucking oil, and they are a docile bunch. Let me tell you, I was taxing people over there. I was like, give me 20% of the value of your house. And they're like, oh, okay. So we don't need them. We can get rid of those places. I don't know. I'm sure, we love Tim Faust. Tim Faust worked on that campaign. I'm sure it was a heartbreaker. But sometimes you look at someone and you go, this person could have it. And sometimes you look at someone and you go, goo. And that I kind of got the goo feeling from Francesca Hong. But I get the feeling from David Crowley and his stupid fucking. I think he follows the faith of the seven, whatever crap he does. So not a good race, which is what Haley Stevens was saying before she conceded.
Just one more note on the Haley Stevens El Sayed race. I think it's interesting, like how that was like, okay, El Sayed he merely eked out a win in a race where he was outspent 12-1, and like he doesn't have a mandate. This is certainly not any kind of referendum on how popular his policies are.
Yeah,
but I do like now that he has won the primary, and these people have to kind of like. The erstwhile Haley Stevens supporters. I mean, some of them are just outright being like, I'm voting for Mike Rogers, the Republican.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but some of them, like, because like they have to kind of like take their own medicine and be like, oh, we have to support the Democratic candidate.
Yeah.
But they're doing it within like, I'm just going to use Matt Iglesias as an example here because he has some advice here. He has some thoughts on how El Sayed can get to yes with moderate voters. 1, America first, not Israel or Palestine first. And you know what? I think that's going to...
Was Israel first part of El Sayed?
Well, he was saying like...
Stop talking about Israel.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a great point. Like, how has Israel affected, cost of living or anything in America?
Yeah. So, America first, not Israel first or Palestine first. And I think, like, we should take seriously here that this is the only hand left for these people have left to play. It's because, like, they understand now in a Democratic primary or even in like a Democratic presidential election, supporting Israel is a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
Like they've sort of come to this idea that like, newsflash, absolutely everybody hates Israel.
Yeah.
And like, there's no getting around that and there's no talking your way out of it. But like, the one hand they have left to play is like, voters are sick of this whole issue. So like, no more Palestine first politics either. And I love that because it's just like, yeah, you know what? Palestinians have been living too high on the hog.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the amount of the overwhelming influence of the Palestine lobby in American politics, it's gotten out of hand.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's like crazy.
How much money are they going to loot from the public coffers so that they can have a tent that gets bombed?
Yeah. I just, like, it reminds me of one of my favorites, Speech Boy, Michael Cohen.
Oh, I love that guy. I love that guy.
I remember in like 2016, he said something about how similar thing where he's like, everyone complains about the Israel lobby. What about the Armenian lobby? I just, it's so good because it's like, this is what, like an 80-20 issue with Democratic primary voters. And okay, what do you think is like a more onerous thing for a politician to do? Like, let's take you at your word and say that this is you're doing Palestine first policies. What is going to affect the average voter worse? Like, because we've seen the Israel first policies.
Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, a war being fought on behalf of Israel that has made everything more expensive.
Yeah, delayed. The least of the effects was delaying the steam machine by 6 months. The greatest effects, much worse and have yet to be seen. The Palestine, if you were doing Palestine first, it would be like, oh, you have to give these people civil rights. And Israel's retort would be like
the Palestine first policies that Maddie is trying to forestall here are not anything that would be like proactively Palestinian. Like, for instance, committing the money we're spending on Israel to like give Palestine its own military and arm it and back it up to the hilt.
Yeah.
And to be fair, nobody in American politics is suggesting that.
Well, I do think you should be able to join Qassam brigades as an American.
I mean, I think you should be able to like donate money to them.
Oh my God, I think we should like.
But that's not like that. That's me choosing to do that. That's not taxes paying for that.
Right? No, exactly. We're volunteerists.
Yeah.
We're libertarians. If the IRGC had an Act Blue,
No, and this is what I mean by the only hand left to play here, because what he means by Palestine first politics would be not even us, the United States, doing anything actively to, balance the scales of the like grotesque injustice that we've held perpetrate against them for years and years, for decades and generations now. It would simply just be to stop doing the things we're doing now.
Right.
Which just simply be like to stop arming Israel or giving them any diplomatic, military, or economic support.
Right. And it just, the entire argument is such a house of cards because I guess the reasoning is, right, this would be Palestine first to the detriment of America because we make so much money selling weapons to Israel. And someone like Matt will acknowledge, okay, Israel does bad things with these weapons, but don't you want American jobs?
Well, I mean, that's the other argument that, like, I'm saying. I used to see Matty make that argument all the time, but he's since abandoned that argument, which is that all the weapons that we give to Israel for free subsidizes American manufacturing, which is like, hey, we'd all love the Holocaust to end, but think of IBM, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also like, okay, if it's like, okay, I admit they do terrible things with them, but can't we just make up the difference selling it to Russia?
Yeah, right.
Like if it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if like all morality is aside here, and all we care about is American jobs.
Yeah, like if that's
well, I mean,
it.
the problem is we wouldn't need, like, Russia wouldn't buy that because they have their own defense industry. They don't need it.
We have their competitor to the AMRAAM is shittier than ours.
Okay,
so we could sell them some AIM 120s.
let's hook them up.
Yeah, I think building can be done. But no, this is we saw the rumblings of the. Who's that fucking guy? Corey something. He writes for that.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Like
Yeah.
he's the guy who writes for Alger Mayer or whatever, and he's like,
yeah, that is a C tier publication. He is in the fucking.
he's the
He's
guy who
not
like
even-
he's the
he's
guy
not
who like
even-
I like one of those guys that like he may not even be getting paid to do this, but he's like Israel's biggest defender.
He could be paying to do this job. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's. We have an informal ranking of these Jewish magazines. I would probably say Forward is like MLB.
Yeah,
That's the show. Tablet, that's like AAA. Commentary, that's AA. Algermeyer.
that's like the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah,
actually, no, wait, the
that
Savannah
is-
Bananas are actually very successful.
Yeah, no,
And it just- that's the Sandlot.
is there double B baseball? Is it double?
No, that's Little League.
He's in Little League, but they, they were like, "Here, little bro, let's try this argument out." And after writing, spending his entire adult life writing articles about how important Israel is and how we need to get America needs to intervene in this prom in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because a Palestinian girl is prom queen.
Yeah.
He's like, why do people care about this so much?
That is what I mean. Like, that's the last card to play here.
Yeah.
It's like people who have spent their entire careers being paid to particularly to protect to attack any criticism of Israel, to attack any solidarity with Palestinians, and to ensure an unlimited stream of billions of dollars into the government of Israel directly from the U.S. Treasury. Now that that's all unpopular, they're just like, why is everyone talking about Israel so much? Why are you so obsessed with this issue?
Yeah. I'm not going to say it makes me respect like the Randy Fine type people or the Max Millers. By the way, Max Miller, Jewish guy.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Miller. What job is a miller again? That's like a guy who works with stones, right?
Like at a mill of some kind, like grinding wheat into grain.
Okay, yeah. Grinding wheat into grain to turn into alcohol to scare your family. Jesus, what a fucking freak.
Yeah, but that story, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. God. Bernie Moreno, by the way, just as an aside, what a fucking pussy, dude.
Isn't he like a closeted guy who had like an adult friend finder account that was like looking for?
I looked into this, so it's murky. Moreno said that, and because surprise, guess where Moreno's fortune comes from? Car dealerships.
Yep.
He said an intern did that as a prank, which is like
Good, excellent prank.
yeah. But apparently someone talked to the intern. I don't know. I don't give a. I don't.
Well, the point is,
I don't.
gay, straight, in the closet.
Like
This
if your
guy- this guy
daughter
took-
and
this guy-
granddaughter.
your daughter and granddaughter are being abused by this psycho. I'm like, I think only like last week he was like,
I wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah, Max Miller, he's got he said doesn't have the character of a higher office.
Dude, this is not even like to say these guys were good because they should be end of Citizen X shower scene too. But do you think like HW, Dick Cheney, Tom DeLay, if someone was doing this to their like kids and grandkids, that guy's car's blowing up.
Yeah.
And it's not even like this is the perfect modern Republican thing because it's not even like you're not even like, oh, I'm doing this for the good of the party. Like if he had pressured him out, they would have presumably gotten a guy whose rampant abuse and psychopathy has not come out yet, and it would still be a safe seat. But because they waited so long, they're losing to a guy in a flat brim cap, this Democrat. So they just totally fucked them. He fucked his family. He humiliated himself. He's going to hell. And Max Miller is not even winning that seat.
You know, Max Miller also tried to claim he was the victim of a hate crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like, again, like on the barest scrutiny, completely fell apart. He tried to claim like a Palestinian man hate crimed him on a highway. And he said like as both cars were going like highway speed, the guy rolled down the window and was able to yell at him like, I'm going to kill all you Jews or something. And then the guy's defense lawyer...
And he said, hey, I have dibs on killing my family.
But like the guy's defense lawyers was like literally like at that speed, like you can't hear someone yelling at you from another car.
Awesome.
Even if you like rolled down the window and got like right next to the car to yell at him.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, like all I need to know is look at one photo of Max Miller. Completely depraved lunatic. I believe I believe honestly, like the worst about him is not even come to light.
No. I am sure there is a I mean, as I've said before, I have a morbid fascination with family annihilators because it is such an interesting crime because it is. I think Robert Gorin on Criminal Intent said this that they're the ultimate narcissists.
Yeah,
you know. Family annihilators are usually guys who like they lose their job or like
like the pressures of money, like they can't. They're facing a reality of like not living up to like the fantasy that they have and put it in demand that the total control that they exert over their family, which is entirely dependent on this like on money and like this fantasy of control. And then the money goes away, they're in debt. You know, they're never going to cover it up. They're never going to admit to it. And then rather than like face reality, they just kill their family and themselves.
Yeah, and they frame killing the family as like an act of mercy.
Yeah, like saving them from a worse fate.
Yeah, and it is just written all over Max Miller that he is one of those types of guys. And it's not like there's any like good Republican senators or senators, period, but like, dude, you don't have access to like those Michael Clayton guys. You can't just fucking knock this guy off.
And this is funny because
what a pussy,
being
dude.
a family protector, like that's what Republicans run on. That's what they love. Be like, you know, you can sister, you do anything you want to me, but if you come after my daughter or my granddaughter, like you're going missing.
I'll endorse you until
until it becomes too big of a problem for you to look the other way on.
What a fucking pussy.
What a piece of shit.
Like Trent Lott would have personally gone to Max Miller's house and put a gun in his mouth. Like Strom Thurmond would have used blood magic.
Did you see the text that Max Miller is like putting out there to defend himself?
Yeah.
To exonerate himself. And it's like his ex-wife being like, oh, like our daughter left her stuffed animal at your house. And he's like, talk to the mediator.
Yeah.
He's like, talk to the court-appointed person who's responsible for all interactions with my wife and daughter.
Oh my God. So Michael Tracy, I'm really surprised by this.
He's blown a huge opportunity.
He's defending Max Miller.
Oh wait, he is? Yeah. Wait, no way.
I don't know. I can't believe it either.
I was going to say he's missing a huge opportunity here.
No, he's defending him.
On what grounds?
I haven't read through all of it, but I think his argument is like, well, Max Miller bought the Blue Bunny. What if he wanted to play with it? It's just like the usual stuff he does during this where he's like, oh, she's lying. And it's like, wow, there's a real uptick in lying lately. Thank you, Michael. I don't know. Yeah, really fucking sordid stuff. What sitting U.S. senator, like Republican senator, do you think would actually like jump out on Max Miller in a similar situation? Like Mitt Romney?
Yeah, Mitt Romney. I mean, he's not around anymore, but
he would have jumped out.
Lindsey Graham would have jumped out.
Oh, Lindsey Graham would have gotten the old cowboy outfit back on.
Bang, bang.
Yeah. He would have been like Seth Bullock.
Like Annie Oakley, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's the scene from Deadwood where he's talking to the guy who killed Wild Bill. He's like, he fuck you in your ass, and Lindsay Bullock is like, yeah, so. Where were we? I've just been so like deep in this Max Miller thing. It's really like we're joking about some of it, but it gives me the same feeling that fucking Roy Moore gave me, right? Where there is like an absurdity to it, but there is something, and we of course have no illusions over what these guys are, whether they are good guys in their personal lives or not, right? They're still part of this project, this horrible project. But there is something so disheartening about just like these insane like pedophile rapists just openly. There's no consequence.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I was thinking about that in light of the fact that like Andrew and the Tate brothers are facing like extradition to the UK for their like multiple rape and torture charges. Like their lawyers, I had a press conference today where he's like saying like he's going to go straight to Trump and Marco Rubio. And I know the UK is an ally, but like let's not forget 1776 and the Tea Party. And we're like, the Tate brothers are literal white slavers.
Yeah,
they abduct and enslave white women and girls.
Yeah,
and then like exploit and rape them for money. And these are like the heroes that Donald Trump and his administration has personally intervened to like help them abscond from Romania, and has like intervened on their behalf to basically shield them from from charges related to textbook like a crime that hasn't existed since the 1800s, like white slavery.
Yeah,
and
dude.
like and this is all done under the guise of like a Stephen Miller like ICE like racial purity project sold on the idea that it's like brown immigrants that are like raping your women and wives and daughters.
Yeah, I am really hoping. I was so happy that like Ron Dion like just hates Trump so much that he called Raylan Givens and got those pricks scooped up. I don't know. Yeah, like I'm really hoping that Iran gives them too much to worry about and they just can't intercede in time because the UK justice system, you might as well be getting tried at the Airy. And no one deserves it like these fucking assholes. I am really hoping they make it out of there because they're not making it out if they do. Iran has proved themselves to be the most stalwart defenders of liberal democracy, and I'm hoping that they like create such a headache.
As you said before on the show, it's like you can care or not care about like if Democrats get elected or if they swing the Senate or House of Representatives this fall, but like take a load off because the adults are in charge.
Yeah,
the adults are in charge because has been no more effective. There's been no body on earth more effective at challenging and defeating the power of the satanic Republican Party in this country than the Iranian military and government.
Yeah. I don't need Francesca Hong because we got the IRGC, dude.
And they've made clear now that like talking, they're done talking.
I would love to have been in the room when they got that cable. Oh my God. No, you don't get to fly here anymore. You don't get to say, oh, we have a deal. Fuck you.
We've lost all of our interceptors, half of our Reaper drone arsenal.
25% of the MQ-9 stock, and we shut down by Iran. 10% by Ansar Allah.
At least
that's crazy.
What is it, like 8 or 9 military bases now that are just gone, like ghost towns, abandoned. And it's very clear that Iran's strategy here is to end Donald Trump's presidency.
Yeah.
And it's not like they give a shit whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, because let's be honest, a Democrat would probably be, they could probably get a better deal out of them, but it's not like the Democrats aren't their enemies as well.
Right.
But here and now in America, if your primary concern is like, we just got to get rid of Trump and this fascist Republican Party, then like all glory to the martyrs.
Yeah, no, if you are really, really want to stop Trump, find a way to roll them into Act Blue. Like, I will fucking max out. I'm not even fucking kidding, dude. They are like as best as I can ascertain. I've been reading a lot of Seamus Malikafazi's. I'm so sorry.
Malikov-Zeli.
God fucking damn it! I'm so sorry.
And if you feel like,
can I a lot of his writing? Derek Davidson. obviously, shout out to the Kings, Radio War Nerd, John and Dr. Dolan, and Dr. Mark. But from all of them, I've been getting they're all coming to a similar consensus, which is basically that like Iran is now proactively making it so that sanctions on them are sanctions on the entire region, including the GCC corridors and Jordan, which is brilliant. Just a strategy of like, bleed me an ounce, I will drain all the blood from the body of all your compradors, and that is like, it can't. How much more can Jordan take? You know,
well, because like all those countries that you're talking about, like they are the brake on Donald Trump. Because like every time he threatens to escalate and start like, be like, we're going to bomb them more than any country's ever been bombed before. It's like, once again, if you're a supporter of this president, if you're someone who thinks that we're actually winning the war in Iran, like, do you not take notice that Donald Trump, your guy, he keeps threatening to escalate. He keeps threatening to take the gloves off. And then at the last minute pulls back and starts demanding negotiations.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's because the Gulf countries are like, we can like, don't do this. Like we are going to fall apart. Like we are going to collapse if this goes on much longer.
Every time that Iran decides to jump out even more, you know that they completely ruined Jared's plan to start like that bullshit resort in Albania.
Yeah.
Like,
well, the Albanian people contributed as well. They have like
shout out to them.
Like a genuine, and Albania is a country that is pro Donald Trump.
Yeah,
they had like a genuine national uprising because that shithead and Donald Trump's awful daughter tried to buy an island off the coast of Albania just for their own, so they could do like Epstein shit there.
Yeah, like the IRGC is doing everything that they told us Merrick Garland was going to do.
Exactly. They're delivering on the promises that like when all the people who voted for Joe Biden to be like, Trump is going away forever. We're never having to hear about him again. Honestly, I would love like whoever the next Democratic president is, just send Donald Trump to Iran to face justice in their courts. Because American courts, they're not going to get the job done.
No, they're not. They're not. Donald Trump, he has spent his entire life, he's a famous builder, and it is only appropriate that he spends his last seconds on Earth on a crane.
Yes. Well, speaking of Iran, Felix, I know you saw the story that just came out this week about how on the USS Lincoln, the aircraft carrier that's in the Persian Gulf right now, has been basically like deployed longer than just about any ship like has.
And that Lincoln is filled with logs.
Like,
that toilet's back.
The toilets don't work. There's no food. Like, I mean, this is like months ago. Remember we saw those images of the like horrendous gore.
Oh yeah,
like the sort of gray sheets of something that they're feeding.
Navy of JSON.
Like, British sailors in the 19th century ate better than people than the sailors on the USS Lincoln are right now.
I was so sick of seeing those posts that were like, "Oh, they're giving them lobster. They're gonna die." No, you're gonna die when the Navy is like, "Surprise for dinner tonight, boys! It's gray, wet, and mushed lump."
It says morale is plummeting on an American aircraft carrier that's running short of food and other supplies as its exhausted crew wages President Donald Trump's war against Iran, worried family members say. Sailors and Marines serving on the USS Abraham Lincoln have told relatives about being served a half cup of rice and 2 tortillas for a meal, and said the ship's store often lacks soap, deodorant, toothpaste, MS Now reported Wednesday. Crew members are also worn out by working long, grueling shifts, with some rarely getting a day off, and described broken toilets, moldy showers without hot water, and no laundry service for weeks at a time, relatives said.
They get a cup?
A cup of white rice.
That is like...
And 2 tortillas. People in ADX Florence eat better than that.
Yeah, I was going to... like. They were eating more in a bridge on a river Kwai. Like,
the Japanese Imperial military were feeding their prisoners of war better than what the USS Lincoln commissary has.
Dude, how does this happen? A nuclear-propelled aircraft carrier.
I mean, they're like it's like a skyscraper on its side. There's like 5,000 people. It's like a city. Yeah. It's like
it is. But you save so much room by not having to store like a trillion
giant
fucking
diesel
gallons
engine,
of diesel. What were they? Do you think like the first 3 months they were like, oh, they believed those tweets? They're like, oh, they're gonna learn why we don't have health care, and they thought they were gonna get this done in a month. They probably brought the dumbest food. They probably had all their stores were filled with like Uncrustables. And then after like month 7 of sailing as far away as they could, they're just out of fucking deodorant. They would probably mutiny for hardtack right now.
Mutiny on the Lincoln. That has a ring to it. And it's like, yeah, on one level, I mean, like, this puts the lie to the whole idea here. Because, like, on one level, yeah, like, this is war, right?
Yeah.
So, like, experiencing discomfort, deprivation, eating things not fit for a fucking dog. Like, this has been pretty much, you know, pretty standard of what you have to endure if you're unlucky enough to be, you know, in a war throughout human history. But the thing is, I'm sure Iranian sailors or military, I'm sure they could endure shit like this because it's real to them. Yeah. This is an actual war to them. For these poor schmucks on the USS Lincoln, you know, when their PSP breaks and then they're fucking trying to jump off the fucking deck of the ship.
Yeah.
And this is the other thing. It says USS Abraham Lincoln sailors tried to jump overboard amid extended deployment. It says military.
How did you fail at that?
Military families and Congress members are sounding the alarm about an intensifying mental health crisis on board the USS Abraham Lincoln. It says here, there have been like a number of suicide attempts here. It says 2 leading specialist military papers, the Navy Times and the Stars and Stripes, are reporting that there have been multiple attempts by sailors to jump overboard as poor conditions and mental stresses on the Lincoln reaches breaking point. Now, Felix, I had the same question you did here. This happens to be like the perfect metaphor for American power in the 21st century. U.S. Navy sailors can't hit the water when they jump.
Yeah, yes.
Like, how do you try?
Yeah.
I mean, like, it doesn't shock me at all that everyone on board the USS Lincoln wants to kill themselves. What's funny to me is that they can't.
Yeah.
Is that they somehow...
Dude, you have guns. You're surrounded by the ocean. That is like the sky zone of committing suicide. There is the most guaranteed suicide methods in the world on that fucking thing, and they can't do it. I mean, again, how do you think, like, the average IRGC Mosaic commander, can you imagine what they have been through since the start of this thing? I mean, not even since the start of this thing, just I
don't know, through the entire existence
through their entire
of Iran.
lives. Yeah. Through being one of the most sanctioned countries on earth,
fighting the Iran-Iraq war and like
coming of age, doing
being killed with chemical weapons. Like,
yeah, their families being targeted by these same people, and I don't think there has ever been a greater contrast between the two sides in a war. Like, I will be the first to admit, people have listened to what I say on the show about my minor inconveniences. I don't think I would be doing much better on the U.S.
No, of course not.
But
I would have got it done though.
I would have killed myself. Yeah. Oh my god, I would have stuffed myself into. Oh my god, I have such a good idea. You know, a CWIS.
No, what's that?
A CWIS is this like short range anti-projectile thing. It has like a auto cannon. A little
the huge Gatling gun.
Yeah. So what I would do is I would put like a heat pad on my back. And then I would have my friend toss me in the air. I'd be like, oh, I'm a missile. And then I would just get shredded to bits by the autocannon.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the same time, I'm also like, let's go Iran. You know, I'm not the one who's out there going like, they're going to learn why we don't know how to read. Iran is about to learn why we cannot build a bridge in less than 38 years. Iran, by the way, has rebuilt like every fucking bridge we blew up. We can't even finish the Francis Scott Key Bridge. We can't even commit suicide right. Samurais they just had a sword. They're like, you got to kill yourself in the most painful way possible. And they were like, okay.
Yeah, sure thing, boss.
Our guys are surrounded by weaponry that could just red mist them in a split second.
It's not so much the weaponry, because I'm sure that's hard to get your hands on a Navy ship. I think they keep the guns pretty much under. I'm talking about
if you're not an obtuse thinker. You know what I would do. Here's another great idea. If you're a sailor and you want to kill yourself, just loudly announce, "Oh boy, I got an email back from Noam Chomsky about how I don't." like fighting in this war I signed up for. I think I'm going back to the NFL after this.
That is a surefire way.
Yeah. We had a totally unforeseen accident where a fucking Sea Sparrow surface to air missile launched in the air, then turned around and just fucking jammed itself down a guy's throat.
I mean, it's more just the jumping off it. Because it's just like, you're on that huge deck. How fucking hard is it?
I don't get how they miss.
Like, I would be like that dude. I would be like the Jonah, Mr. Hallam in Master and Commander, where he's just like, he's out on the deck at night and he's like, thank you. You've always been very nice to me. And they're like, okay, cool. Then he just grabs a cannonball and jumps over the side and he sees his eyes like sink to the fucking bottom. Like, you know, because grabbing the cannonball, that's the pro move. Because, if the fall doesn't kill you, you might survive.
Yeah. Okay. Surely they can pick up like a shell or
something heavy. I don't know, bowling ball or something.
I'm not a suicidal person, but it's just like whenever I get like,
I just like joking about it.
Yeah, and like it's never like, my life is without hope. It's like in 2020 when my family was like, we're doing a Zoom Thanksgiving call with like 87 people.
You just like for one split second in your head, you begin to understand the calculation of like, hey, maybe death is a way out of this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's reasonable.
Yeah. I was thinking about
like nothing forever. I'll be nothing for eternity, but also
I don't have to do that
nothing
call.
for this Zoom call with 70 relatives.
I had so many ideas in like under a second. I was like, I can swap myself. I can print it out a picture that makes it look like I'm holding a hostage. So a police sniper kills me. Like if you really want to do it, man, you're gonna do it. You're out of there. There are some failed attempts. You can famously. There was a guy who I think he jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge.
There's many people have done that and survived.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of the one where the sea lion saved him.
Oh, really?
I love that story. But yeah, for these guys, it seems like that is one of the best places to kill yourself. Just jump into, fighter jets and shit. They don't have like keys. You don't have to steal someone's keys, and you can just play DCS and learn how to start it up. Just start it up with no authorization, and like ignore all the warnings. They're gonna shoot you down.
Yeah. It's like say, suicide by cops, suicide by the U.S. Navy.
Yeah.
See, here's what I would do. I would get up late at night. I would climb out of my bunk. I would go up on the deck. I would climb up onto like the big guns, and I would just like slide into it. I would just go down.
That's really good.
Go down the barrel of one of the giant cannons, and then I'd just be like wedged in there, and be like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And I just
really
wait for them
good.
to set it off.
And they like, aren't there
just blow me out of the fucking cannon?
Yes.
It fires a shell that's like 4 feet wide or something like that.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, by the way, isn't there a Navy Corps, like every military thing, they have like a guy with morphine?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Can't you just like
just take some of that? Yeah.
If you're cool, can't you be like, hey, can you hook me up so I could kill myself? I don't know. Maybe these guys aren't cool. Maybe they're just, that is the big thing with Gen Z. They're very like a passive people.
Yeah.
So maybe they don't know all that is the problem with us millennials. We didn't pass down the best techniques on killing ourselves.
If you're aboard an aircraft carrier in the Persian Gulf.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Me and Will first met fighting in the first Gulf War where we killed ourselves. We got reincarnated as these guys.
Yeah, we went to Valhalla and we were like, enough of this, time to go back.
Yeah.
There's more wars to fight.
They were like,
there's more suicides to do.
Yeah. They're like, you guys are pretty cool for sellers. You get to make content this lifetime.